Okay, this one's a little different, and I'm going to approach it differently with certain things. I'm going to do the pattern differently, and I'm going to do the fillets differently, which you could, do it the other way too, that we just done it. But we'll see. Let's get this profile first, and note that this is tapered here. It's wider at the base than it is at the top, and that this part's larger than this. And the way I'm going to do this one, okay, let's see. We'll do, okay, we'll go File, New. Okay. Also note that this is metric. So we got to come in here and we're going to go to our options. And then when the options window opens up, we're going to go to document properties and units, and then millimeters, grams, and seconds. Okay. So let's start our sketch. And it also is kind of facing us. So I'm going to pick the top plane, and we'll put a center line. I'm gonna have an infinite length. Why not? Going this way. Then we'll do another center line going this way. And I'm gonna use that center line to, well, I'll show you. So let's get this basic idea sketched out. And let's do this. Okay. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this midpoint here. That's pretty close. Grab that midpoint there. And then I'm going to grab this line, and I'm going to make them coincident, which is going to move the midpoint of this line to this line. So that means that that's always going to be the midpoint. Okay. And I can do the same thing here, but I'm just going to put a dimension on that one. All right. So let's get our larger dimension here is 44. Got 44. And our smaller dimension over here is 34. So we got 34. Now I could use a relation for this midpoint to that line like I did here to center that. Or here they have the 17 dimension. Might as well just put the 17 dimension in there. We can do that as well. From that edge to the center line is 17. There we go. So that'll be nice and centered. We have the internal web is 10. So we'll just go 10 from here to here. And to make sure we center that, we're going to give a dimension between the center line and one of the edges is 5. So now everything should be nice and symmetrical. There we go. Now we have to deal with this 16 taper. So I'm just going to do it right here. Do a dimension from here to here and make that 16. Okay. Now I want to make sure that this is all together. Sometimes these don't move when you move everything. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pick this point, control, and then this point, and make sure that they're vertical. Then I'm going to do the same thing. I get out of there, and I'm going to do the same thing with this point and this point. Make sure that they're vertical, meaning that they line up vertically. Another way I could have done that is made this line and this line equal. Okay. All right. So now everything looks right. We're going to put in our diameters, and let's start with this smallest one first because that looks kind of big to me, which is 23.8 23.8. Yeah. See, what if I would have done the larger diameter first, which is 133, it might not, it might have come in this way and screwed everything up. Let me see what that looks like, just out of curiosity. From here to here. Up. Get rid of that. Delete. That's 110 right there. And I went like, I brought that out, 211. Well, it'll still work. Okay, but anyway, let me get this 28 in 23.8. So from here to here, 23.8. Oh, see what happened? Okay, so now watch. We're going to do this. We're going to do the 50 right here. So when I do the 50 from this point, bring it over here and type in 50. Pulls it into where it should be. All right. Okay, now we got the 121 and the 133. So the 121, yeah, that's going to come in quite a bit. 121. These weren't horizontal. These weren't collinear. So we fix that right now. Okay, so I'm going to grab this line here and this line here and come over here and make them so I can do vertical or I can do collinear. And I'm going to do collinear. Collinear means they're both, they line up. That's about what that means. Okay. And then the last one is 133. So we'll go from here to here. That 133. There we go. Okay, this one has fillets too, but I'm going to put them in later. And I'm going to put them in the model and not the sketch. Okay. So let's go ahead and revolve this. Get out of there, get out of there. And we'll do the features. Revolve. And they want the axis of revolution, so I'm going to pick this because there's two here. There's one here and there's one here. There's two possible axes of revolution because we have two center lines. So I'm going to pick this center line right here, and it knows what to do, and it gives me that. Okay. So now let's put our holes in. Okay. They're on an 86 millimeter sketch plane there. 86 millimeter bolt circle. A bolt circle is just another name for the diameter that like holes would go around like a bolt on a wheel or something, like lug nuts on your car. Let's make that for construction. And the diameter is 86. 86. Okay, so then the diameter of the holes are 22. Let me put a construction line straight up from here to that quadrant. And then we'll put a circle here with a diameter of 22. And diameter 22. Okay. Now, instead of doing a revolve right now, I'm going to go ahead and punch it through, or a pattern, I should say. I'm going to punch that through. We'll do extruded cut. This circle right here. Okay. Through all. Say okay. Now we also have fillets on there. right here, radius 2 for each of these. Okay, so I'm going to use the fillet command for models, which is right here. All right, we want a 2 millimeter radius, so we got to change that down there to 2. Okay, and the items to fillet, this edge, make sure you pick the edge, and then the back edge. Okay, we'll say okay. Now to do the pattern, let's do the pattern. I come over here, and instead of a linear pattern, I want to go with a circular pattern. Okay, hold on, let me get this facing me real quick. Space bar, I just want to pick that. There we go, that just looks better. Okay, linear pattern, now we want a circular pattern. Kill that. Circular pattern. Okay, so the direction is going to be around a circle, around a radius or whatever. Just pick that. That's our direction. Okay, and it's already got 3 in there. Well, that's good. Features and faces to revolve. Grab the last one, which was the fillet. So right now the only thing that's revolving is the fillet and not the hull. So to get to our tree, they pop it out on the main drawing area here. We can click on that little down arrow, and here's our cut right here for that hull. So we picked that too. So we got both the cut and the fillet. Okay, 3 of them, 360 degrees, evenly spaced, and click OK, and there we got them. Either way works. Lots of times I tend to use do the pattern after the model instead of the sketch. Sometimes, I don't know, it depends. So now we need to finally put in the last fillets. So we have radiuses of 3. Now this could be problematic, okay? Because here we got, for 3, radius of 3 that's rounded like this, you would need a 3 millimeter diameter, right? So, I'm sorry, you would need a 1.5 inch diameter. No. Radius of 3, geez, you would need a 6 millimeter diameter if you got a radius of 3. 6. And we got 121 and 133. Is that enough? 2. I don't know, maybe. Let's see. Let's see what we get here. Radius of 3. Fillet, radius of 3 millimeters. And let's pick this outside edge there. And then let's pick this inside edge here. Does it work? It may just very well work. Okay, and then we want this edge here, right? And we want that interior edge here. Okay, and we want to do the other side. Okay, now I'm confused. All right, let's do this one, then we'll pop it over. There we go. Then we want to do this side here. So we've got fillet, 3 millimeter. This edge. Be careful not to pick the face, and just pick the edge. Edge. Okay. This edge. And this edge. You can do them all one at a time individually as well. And there it is. That's it. That's your wheel. Okay.